In part two here, I'm going to ask you to use your imagination. Many people who excel at what they do use imagination to fuel their deepest desires. We'll also begin discussing some of the many benefits. It doesn't matter if you've been in transportation or not. Just about anybody can learn how to broker freight and enjoy the many benefits. There is one particular benefit that you'll want to learn about. Then I present some proof from others who speak about the specific and helpful tools that they gain through our training. You'll learn the number one reason you need to get properly prepared. I'll give you a glimpse of how I entered the freight broker industry without ever driving a truck or coming out of the logistics industry. If you are new to brokering, you are probably wondering, how can you compete with the big guys and how are you going to get started getting loads? We'll start to explore these concerns here in part two. So let's begin. Hi, again, my name is John Thomas, and this is part two of a seven-part series. And this particular series is directed toward truck drivers, logistics and supply chain workers, and entrepreneurs. Now, I want you to imagine yourself just for a moment. You are brokering freight. It's a beautiful morning, and you are calling on one of your steady customers, a shipper. He has a load of frozen pizza that needs to be picked up from Chicago and delivered to Dallas. He needs a refrigerated unit, a reefer. You go through all your database of carriers that you have accumulated, or you'll search one of the load boards and you call a motor carrier. You ask them if they have a truck available to pick up in Chicago to deliver in Dallas. They check their availability and they say, yes, give me the details. So you give all the details on the load and you tell them you will immediately fax the confirmation. In a few minutes, you'll get the signed and dated confirmation faxed back. And several minutes later, the truck driver calls you. He's calling to let you know he's ready to roll and to ask for any last minute specific instructions. You give them to him and you wish him a safe trip. After his delivery, the carrier sends you an invoice along with the related paperwork. You turn around and invoice your shipper immediately. In a few weeks or sooner, you expect payment from your shipper. When you receive your check, this normally completes the cycle. After that, it's rinse and repeat. Is it always this easy? Absolutely not. It's a service-oriented business, and it will take time to build solid business relationships. But many times it is this simple if you know what you're doing. Can you see yourself doing this? You have an opportunity here. Don't put it off. Every day you postpone this, another broker is taking loads that you should have. Now let's focus on another issue. What kind of benefits can you expect working as a broker? Your business can be home-based. It can use family members. It doesn't need outside employees. It has a high return on investment, ROI. It does not rely upon one geographic area. More and more, it can be run off of a smartphone. You can relocate anywhere. It has relatively low startup and operating costs. It does not require heavy paperwork. It can supplement an existing trucking operation. Most, if not many of my clients have a trucking operation. They want to set up a brokerage and go directly to the shipper for loads. It requires no special formal education or background. It requires no background check, and it will challenge you daily. Your greatest benefit is probably your ROI, return on investment. ROI, what do I mean here? It's like giving someone $1 and they in turn around and give you $5 back. And that's exactly how freight brokering works. You invest, you get a return greater than what you invest. Do you want some proof on this strategy? Here's how my training has impacted several clients. The best informative part is the different scenarios that we went through in regard to talking to the shipper and carrier. Also, the handouts in the ebook were very acknowledgeable. This was from Andrew from Salisbury, North Carolina. Yvonne from Texas called to tell me that she got such a good rate from one shipper that she had to ask him 3 times just to make sure she did not misunderstand him. Ken from Florida called to tell me that he got such a good rate from a shipper, he felt guilty when the load gave him a whopping 25% profit. It sometimes appears so simple that many ask, can you learn this business on your own? The business concept is simple enough. You find shippers, then you find trucks, and you put them together and you grab a commission. However, with all the step-by-step details and procedures that need to be done in sequence, don't put your business and reputation at risk by not getting properly prepared. Without the proper preparation, shippers will see you coming a mile away. Knowing the correct procedures, questions, and methods for getting a load moved safely, effectively, and efficiently will mark you as a professional. Okay, let's talk about cost. How much do you need to spend to learn all this? Are the attractive low-cost $98 to $497 deals all that you really need? Well, probably not. We'll outline your training options and the costs in more detail in one of the future episodes. Now, right now, you may be asking yourself, how can I find loads to get started if I'm new to the business and a small operator? Good question. The simple answer is if you can't find on-the-job training, which is very difficult to do, you need to get properly trained by a good mentor, someone with actual freight broker experience, not a salesperson. Before I got into freight brokering here in El Paso, I spoke with about 20 local brokers. I also spoke with some local shippers and truck drivers. The information that was collected was invaluable. It formed the basis for my business plan that secured my initial line of credit. As beneficial as this preliminary work was, I knew I had to actually do the deal. I had to jump in, and I knew that it started with creating numerous marketing strategies, effective strategies, not just following the herd over a cliff. In our program, we'll explore the many different ways to get customers, and you'll come to learn what works for you and what doesn't. Focus on what's effective, not necessarily on what's quick and easy. In part 3, we will take a more detailed look into the training system. We'll take a look at your training options and a peek into your income potential. We'll see you there. Thanks for watching.